What's going on, y'all? It's J Small Reviews here, back at it again with another video. Bringing you guys today regular prediction video. The Riot versus the Wrap-Off card has dropped with the most notable and key matchup here being Geechi versus Illmac. This was announced, I think, a couple weeks back on a much more suspiciously made flyer, and I think I still see the sponsor from that on here, so maybe that was the sponsor just jumping out a little bit ahead of time. But obviously, that proper rollout here now, full card for Geechi versus Illmac, and then under that, a couple very notable names, some names that just had a very, very good 2023 at that, and some underrated battlers. Also want to mention before I get fully into the predictions, I believe today, if this comes out today, I've been having some weird technical issues, so good chance this comes out tomorrow. If it comes out Sunday, can't help you. But today, I believe, is the Trenches Tournament. Listen, most of those names, many of us do not know, but two very key things for me. One, it is a tournament. I like tournaments. There's stakes. Two, Jay Moore is rapping, and I will say every time I get the opportunity, man, I think Jay Moore has star potential. Watch Jay Moore versus Danny Myers, Jay Moore versus Tank the Demon, Jay Moore versus Bonus. Extremely impressed with this guy, and actually one of the main reasons I'm tuning into this tournament. So if you guys get the chance, if this even comes out in time, go check out the Trenches Tournament and see what they got going on. But without further ado, Riot versus Wrap-Off, starting from the bottom of the card. So first battle I'm seeing here is Danny Myers versus Myverse. And as we know, Danny he's going to battle everyone when it's all said and done. It's like Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Danny is going to battle everyone when it's all said and done. And now over here he battles Myverse. Matchup-wise, there's always going to be obscure matchups for Danny, and he still somehow finds a way to come up with at least, some punches for the occasion, some type of approach, whether it's hit or miss. So at the end of the day, off just pure rapping ability, I can't bet on Myverse in this situation. Now, if Danny maybe this is the battle that Danny kind of slacks. Maybe he has some stumbles or chokes. That's something that you could watch out for. And I also don't think that he's just going to body or put her in the ground, because I don't think he's going to bring that level of content. I think Myverse will be cool. Obviously, she's probably going to have to feel that pressure going up against Danny somewhat, even though Wrap-Off versus Riot environment, not sure the crowd in the setting yet, could be a little bit more friendly where it's not too much pressure on her. But I have Danny winning this battle at least 2-1, if not 3-0, but I could see around that he takes off and Myverse raps good. She's been doing that, man. Versus Hustle, I still had Hustle winning the second. She had a good second versus First Lady Flames, and those are more, to me, hierarchy pressure matchups, battling other women, improving for your spot. This one going to be a little bit of a sparring session, in my opinion, but Danny winning. Then from there, you got EK versus Real Sick. Fire. And EK, you said you were going to retire. I think you're lying, EK. I think you lied. Maybe he means when that full documentary drops with the battles. I don't know, but here you go. You got EK versus Real Sick. Real pen-on-pen matchup. And here's the thing. EK has got this weird thing where for the most part of his career, he's battled to about where his name's gotten him. A bit of a mid-tier level, at times a little bit under that. At times he said it himself. He showed up fucked up. He showed up rolling Molly to battle rolling on Molly to battle Kid Chaos, right? So he's done some weird things in his career. He's had some tough losses. Wasn't the greatest in UM2 when given a shot. But then there's when you put EK versus specifically these pen-heavy battlers, JC in that one-rounder in URL, when he battled Rum Nitty and Twerk, I believe he threw both of those battles for last second C or shot, you know what I'm saying, like through the battle, not through the battle, you know what I'm saying, and he's amazing in these, he's absolutely amazing in these high level elite pen to pen situations. For whatever reason, he's a whole different battler when he applies himself, and I think you could see that here with this Real Sick battle. Now, a lot of times I do have him on the losing end of these battles, but it goes to show that I think this is going to be really, really good footage. I do have Real Sick winning 2-1 going in. He's just rapping at a different level. He's probably rapping top 10 in the world type of stuff. And he doesn't rap with no purpose. If Real Sick is stepping outside, at this point, it looks like he's giving you 100%. He did it for Homeschool. He did it for Koj. He did it in his two bigger battles like Disaster and A-Ward. And I don't think he would take the EK battle without the intent of going in here and giving his absolute peak ability. And I think EK, for whatever reason, doesn't fully mirror these guys' peaks, but gets somewhere near it. It's just there's motivation when it's high-level writing scenarios. So for me, Real Sick's going to win this battle, but this is 100% going to be a very good battle. And then from there, last two matchups of the card, right? You have Bigg K versus Next. So this is going to be Bigg K's first battle post-winning champion of the year, and it is a humongous opportunity for Next. Has battled Rum Nitty, got a round off Rum Nitty too in the third. Has battled Disaster, absolutely bodied him. That footage still has never came out, but as someone that was able to watch the battle and bought, I believe it was the $20 lot pay-per-view, he smoked the shit out of Diz, as many people are doing nowadays. But the thing about Next, I don't know. 3-rounder obviously it did decent versus Twerk, but we know how that battle went. It's tough because I think Next is going to do good, and I think he's getting these big opportunities where, he does good enough to not just get wrapped out of the building or be like, oh, why is he here? But it's hard for me on the competitive aspect to just see him running with Bigg K right now. And on top of that, the visual of Bigg K with the belt, the pockets can kind of style on a lesser opponent. At times, it's almost like the same effect Goods has, which is why I've always personally thought Goods versus Bigg K could be a good matchup. It's the way they attack opponent, really by belittlement. It's not like the wordplay, big haymakers, or even angles. It's like a really different type of attack that I feel like only a few people, maybe like a Verb, a Goods, and like a Bigg K can pull off in battle rap. So competitively, I have Bigg K winning this battle. At least 2-1. It could definitely be a 30. I do have respect for Next to at least make a round debatable where we're having that 2-1 or 30 type of conversation. But like I said, it's great. He also has cap all around this time. I think Next does. So we'll see. He could be a little fatigued material-wise. You want to be as focused as possible for this one. But, moral of the story, Bigg K is going to win, but I think Next is going to do good. And that leaves us with the main event of the night, the main reason this card has gotten booked, and that is Geechi versus Illmac. Now, this one can be very preferential, right? Because we obviously know the way that both these gentlemen attack. I think specifically both the anglers they are right now, but almost while being two of the best anglers, two different type of anglers at that, right? You have Illmac, very meticulous, very detailed, down to the very technical aspects, as you'd say. And while Geechi can very much so do that, I still think that he brings kind of disrespect and just in-your-face angling, if that makes any sense, to the game at a time that maybe disrespect doesn't hit the same, but it's very delivering of the facts. We know what he did versus Easy the Block Captain, what he did versus Serious Jones, talk about the math punch. It's not always like the craziest in detail, but sometimes it's just really stating a situation very bluntly, and that can hit just as much as the most well-written or complex approach of things. Also, at the very least, I think this is two of the top 15 battle rappers ever to grace the sport, at the very least, because we all judge it differently. I might even go as far to say they're two of the top 10, or could be argued, but at least two of the top 15 battle rappers, I think, ever. So there is still stakes in it, in the fact that it is two very big legends and debatably kind of kings of where they're from, in a sense, going at it. And like I said, the angling matches up, and they both have the ability to go into their all-around bag a bit. But for me, what sways my prediction a little bit here? And for me, I am going Geechi 2-1 edge going into this. And while I think Illmac does not come outside for no reason, if he's coming outside to rap, he said it's because he wants to rap something. I think he really wants to rap for a guy, and that's what makes him choose the opponent, as opposed to just negotiating or battling on a big card or battling to battle. I think he has something he wants to rap about to Gotti, and that's why he took the battle to begin with. So I expect Illmac to be prepared, but compared to guys like A-Ward, JC, and Nitty, granted, I think Nitty's debatable. I think he cleared the other two battles, right? But I personally have him winning all three of those outings. I think when it comes to those pen versus pen matchups, right, because there's a little bit of a writing emphasis to those three, the angling hits a little bit different as opposed to Gotti. I think you can still very much so land angles on him, but Gotti has that little bit of more star power than those guys, that angles can bounce off him here and there, man. Sometimes it just doesn't stick the way that you'd plan for it to, and I think that's big, especially when Gotti's going to be rapping very good at that. Probably punch count wise, I think he might be able to outdo Illmac a little bit in that region, although when it comes to if there's any scheming and stuff like that, I think Illmac has a higher quality pen in terms of the complexity. So they match up in a lot of ways, but for me, the fact that Gotti has that little bit of more star power can help him, plus performs a little bit more, and I just think it kind of bark on Illmac a little bit, if I do say so, a way that maybe Bigg K did back in the day versus Illmac. Very debatable classic battle, but I always thought Bigg K really belittled him and kind of controlled the stage performance-wise a little bit, and I think Gotti has the lane to do something like that in this battle. Plus, Geechi's been very good versus king of the dot style legend so far into this point of his career. He lost to Sharon, in my opinion, but he's very good in that battle. Did very good versus Bigg K and won that battle, and then did versus Holohan very recently. Obviously, wasn't his craziest performance, but handled business when he had to. So for all those reasons, I think that Geechi is going to win this battle 2-1 edge, but I also think it's going to be extremely debatable and extremely preferential when you get down to it. But that is my predictions real quick for the Riot versus Rap Off card. Like I said, some good battles here. Wouldn't be surprised if EK and Real Sick is battle of the night. Many people are going to say Geechi and Illmac, no problem with that, but I think EK and Real Sick can really stand out. I think Next versus Bigg K could be cool, and if anything, I think Bigg K could have very similar to what O-Red did versus Cortez when his first battle after winning Champion of the Year. I think Bigg K can have one of those stylish performances where he just kind of, flexes his newest accomplishment with a pretty good outing to start the year, but looking forward to what next brings. And then Danny Myers versus my versus kind of anything, but it's not the worst thing ever, right? So we'd love to hear what you guys think about the card in the comments down below. Don't know when the date of it is. I don't think it's that far away, though, so hopefully we'll be watching this or recapping it soon. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.